not showing me. It's not showing me live. Yay. Here it is. Okay. Let's see. Hi. How are you? Well, I love you, Wanderer. How are you? I'm just setting up so I can see the chat and read it without trying to, blow my eyeballs out. What's up, Hawkeyes? How are you? Shanice, you're in Barbados. Perfection. Of course you are. Of course you are. And I mean that in a good way. Of course you are. Right? Where was Neville? Where did Neville want to go? Barbados. Love it. You're representing. Korea Dreamers. Well, I am very happy. Very happy. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining my live stream. And welcome to my fellowship of HBICs. You're an official HBIC now. Of course we missed you, Eric. Of course. Duh. You're on your way home from work, Deep Deep? So I'm wondering, what time is it for you wherever you are? Are you in the US? Are you in a different country? Morning, Lisa. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Good reminder. Hold on, let me fix that then. And plus, I don't think I was seeing everybody's messages here this morning either. Also, hold on. Let me do that. Well, let me try to do that. Come on. All right. There. That should do it. Okay. Good reminder, Patricia. I love that we can give reactions now and you can put hearts, smiley faces, and all the stuff. React, right? No, wait, what is it called? Reactions. Yeah, did I say reactions? I don't know what I just said. Is it the first day of spring today? Why did I think that was tomorrow? I'm not questioning you. Why was I so certain it was tomorrow? I have an agenda over here somewhere. It's 7 p.m. in India. Ooh. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? It's 9:30-ish in the morning in New York, because I live in New York. And on the other side of the world, it's a totally different time. If that's not more evidence, in my opinion, that time isn't real, time is not linear, and we've just been so conditioned to ignore the fact that it's all different times around the world, but we're all experiencing it in the present. Hello. Just saying. All right. Joelle, member for 5 months. Thank you very much. Dear Kimberly, sending love. Want a little zhuzh after big movement, then silence. Okay, you know what? Let me just say this. I think a lot of people experience that. Now, that's just an opinion. I'm not saying it's a fact. But I hear it. I hear it a lot. That when we get, we'll say, really good movement, when we're experiencing really good movement, and then boom, 3D seems to go quiet. So if you're manifesting a specific person, maybe you had some amazing movement with your person and then boom, maybe it feels like we're not talking again or it's no contact and blah, blah, blah. And even though you might not be viewing reality as I'm in no contact, right? So I'm not saying that, Joelle. But I know it can feel that way when it seems like movement and momentum was picking up and then boom, there's nothing. So again, this is personal opinion. It is this type of experience It's the reason why I talk about what I'm about to say so much in my videos, because I do see it happening. First of all, this absolutely never means that our manifestation has stopped working. It does not mean in any way, shape, or form that you're not going to get your manifestation, or that this was at best what you were going to experience, meaning the good movement. It does not mean that in any way, shape, or form. It's important to continue to see reality as still working, as still unfolding. Now, I know the word unfolding means to some of you that the full manifestation is not done. It's not here yet. So, and I know that's what that word sounds like. It sounds like we're in a forever unfolding, experiencing things. But that's a logical way to look at it. And another reason why I say we shouldn't apply logic unless we're doing it to our benefit in manifestation. But right now in this moment, even if you are experiencing absolutely nothing in your reality, you are actually living and experiencing the manifestation in of itself. From a logical, literal perspective, it might look like an unfolding that is yet unfinished or yet to be finished, right? Does that make sense? It's yet to be here, but it's not. It's the opposite. You're living it. At every given present moment, we are in fulfillment. Now, how you interpret that is based off of what state of consciousness you are inhabiting in this moment. So when things appear to like get amazing movement and then boom, nothing, quiet time, it is, even though logically it feels completely opposite, it is a part of you getting what you want. It is a part of you experiencing the manifestation. Again, like I just said, don't try to apply literal thinking or logic to it. And even though getting movement to not getting movement most definitely feels like shit, truthfully, when you're experiencing what you logically would describe as the full manifestation being here in front of your face, all of these moments will make sense. You'll be able to connect the dots. While we're living the experience, it can feel like the dots are going zigzag and all over the place. But truthfully, what we're living, what we're experiencing is the path of least resistance to you getting what you want. But I'm sure, again, from a logical perspective, it does not feel that way, but it is. So it means nothing. So when you're experiencing amazing movement and then it feels like it's quiet, there's nothing to concern yourself with. It means, who are you? And the answer should be, I am the version of myself that has my desire. I am the version of myself that is absolutely experiencing the unfolding or the manifestation. I'm in the right reality and I'm doing everything right. That's another important part. We should always think of ourselves as doing things right. It is our human instinct to question ourselves when we think reality is not reflecting the way we would prefer. Now, there's another viewpoint. You could look at reality as, you could look at it as it's the old reality playing out, right? You're in the midst of a reality collapse and a new reality coming in. And that's not wrong. You very much probably are experiencing that. But to me, that's just the unfolding. So if that makes you feel better to think of it as reality collapsing, then please do, because it's not wrong. As long as you are daily deciding to be a version of yourself, then you have nothing to worry about. And everything you're experiencing is that reflection. So try not to overthink it. I am that I am who is living my best life. Yes, damn right. Joe, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. I don't know if you remember, but I chose my ex over the situationship. Now she's kind of not showing up as her best version for me. Ajush, please, yes. Joe, how are you interpreting your reality right now? Are you believing and giving in to your senses? 'Cause this is something that I also hear often in specific person manifestations. I'm not trying to say that it's always going to be that way in a specific person manifestation, but when we find ourselves heading on over to a version of ourselves that is focused on, let's say, the version of your person that's showing up today in front of your face, if that is not the version you prefer, then get your awareness off of that version. This is what a lot of people do is, and again, this is no me picking on you, Joe. I'm just pointing it out because I see it. Remember, in reality, you are always at every given moment in charge. I know it does not always feel that way. And I know when manifestations, like a specific person manifestation, when it includes someone else, but in truth, don't all manifestations include someone else? But when it's, let's just say, romantic love manifestations, it is so easy to slip into an old state of consciousness. I don't mean the one that you started your journey with. I mean one that is unfortunately viewing and staying aware of the specific person and deciding, making the judgment that the current version of a specific person, if we don't like that current version, is just who they are, is the truth, is the real version of them. We all do it because we are all conditioned to live in 3D reality this way. And because we are source experiencing having an ego, and an ego is not a bad thing. I think the manifestation community kind of takes a shit all over the ego. The ego is not a bad thing. It's also a manifestation of source. We have an ego for a reason. We have the choice over identity for a reason. It is a gift to experience physical reality. It is not a bad thing trying to keep you trapped into a reality you don't want to be in. Okay, ego is not bad. Okay, just making very clear of that. Okay, so when your specific person, in the moment, the absolute direct moment that you're with them, is doing anything you don't prefer, the key to bringing in the version of them that you do prefer is to do your very best. You don't have to be perfect, but to do your very best and not letting your senses, in other words, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, what you're hearing, tell you what state of consciousness you're in. I know you hear me say it all the time, but I say it all the time for a damn reason. It was something I used to mess up all the time. The first several years of my journey, I would do that. I would make that mistake. And it's a mistake because you are source. God, universe, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, whatever you believe it is. You are the I am. Having, by choice, a human experience. You are at every given moment in charge of what reality you're in. So when we, out of a habit that is not our fault, we look at reality and we believe that the person in front of us is who they are. So let's say the old version of your specific person. Again, our habit is to look at them and say, okay, well, this is who they are right now. They are acting like their old self. So therefore, this is what I'm really experiencing. I'm not calling you crazy. I'm saying, I don't care how they're showing up. It is your duty to put your focus back on the version you prefer and remind yourself of what self you are. What self you are. Don't let things in the physical, things in the 3D especially people in the 3D, get you to lose focus and go back to focusing on old self. And I mean old self's reflection, a version of your person that you don't prefer. Your person will hop right on back to the version you prefer if you, at all costs, get your focus back on who you want to be and what version of them you prefer them to be. I know that when we're manifesting anything, we can, without meaning to, kind of feel like we're waiting for things to change, right? I would say that that is our logical human way to interpret reality. So let's use something other than specific person for a minute. Say you're manifesting a large sum of money. Our logical, literal human perspective, more than likely, or most of the time, believes what I see in my bank account is exactly who I am. So I might be focusing when I do my manifestation techniques on who I want to be, the version of me that has the lump sum of money. But I let my bank account tell me who I really am. Again, this is not me trying to say you need to go out and start spending millions of dollars so you can be a millionaire. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying when we view reality as it is what it is, this is what's really happening right now, this is my real reality, we attach ourselves to that real reality. We can accept what we're experiencing. It's okay to be aware, hey, there's only $10 in that bank account and I'm looking for $10,000. I'm manifesting 10,000. It's okay to be aware of what the real bank account is. But even as you look at it, our job is to see it as 10,000, baby. It's 10,000. Every single day, more and more money is coming my way. That's who I am. And to do your best to show up to reality as that person with that kind of money. Now, again, this is never, ever that we have to lie to ourselves. And the only time we feel like we're lying to ourselves is when we believe the reality we're in is our one true only reality. But as you're changing your state of consciousness, becoming a version of yourself that has the money that you want, is abundant, you can still know what's in that bank account and still be the version of yourself that has the 10 grand. Because your perception is what is in charge. I can perceive reality as I know that everything I'm experiencing is a part of me being the self that has the lump sum of money. I know it sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I know it does. But our brain can do that. Our brain is so amazing. It can accept and believe you're in a reality where you are financially abundant, the best you've ever been, and still be aware at the same time that there's $10 in that account. We as humans don't trust that. Or at least when we're newer manifestors, baby manifestors. And that's not an insult by me saying baby manifester. That's just, I was a baby manifester, right? We all start out at some point being a baby manifester. I'm telling you, every time you bring your awareness back to who you want to be and see yourself as already being that self, reality will reflect you. You will start to see evidence of your changes. Joe, you've already experienced seeing your ex go from a shit version back to an amazing version. What you're experiencing right now might be the shit version. But because you know you've already done this once, it's without question, of course you can do this again. You wouldn't be aware of the amazing version of your person if it didn't exist. You just got to get your eyeballs off of the shit and go back and see them as their best self. Here's another thing that actually came up in a coaching call the other day that I think is something we should talk more about. I think, again, this is just perspective, and because I coach a lot of people every day, I just hear it in conversations, and now I believe it. So now what's going to happen? I'm going to experience the reflection of my belief, right? I have a belief that people make the assumption, but I think that they make the assumption out of fear, which is why it feels like a pain in the ass, that they believe that when they are in their wish fulfilled, that they're never going to experience anything unfavorable or weird in their reality. And by unfavorable, I just mean, let's say your specific person seemingly being like their old self. That this being in the wish field does not mean that at all. You're going to have varying experiences in your 3D because we're here to have a human experience. Being in the wish fulfilled, what that does is it changes how you perceive reality. So your specific person can still fart sideways while you're, and by fart sideways, I'm being sarcastic, clearly. I don't mean that they can be the version of themselves that's going to cheat on you again. I don't mean that. I'm saying maybe they'll wake up in a bitchy ass mood tomorrow and you're still in your wish fulfilled. And I'm saying your old self, being in the old state, might view that shit mood as it's all my fault. They don't love me. They don't want to be with me anymore. But your wish fulfilled version, experiencing the same exact thing, will not view it that way. The wish fulfilled version of you would view it as maybe they're just tired. I'm not worried about whether they want me or not. I know of course they do. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't assume because you have not an amazing day that it means you've done something wrong or you're not in the state that you claim to be. Remember, each state shift means a different perspective of reality, even though reality is showing the same exact circumstance or experience. As we fluctuate through states, so does our perspective, but the experience is still in our face. Do you see what I mean? I hope that makes sense without being more confusing. How can I stop beating myself up for waiting too long? What do you mean by waiting too long? Waiting too long for what? Did you already put that in the chat somewhere? I don't know what you mean by waiting too long. I got some hot and cold behavior yesterday. We talked as if everything was perfect. There's a 3P going on though. That's why sometimes I beat myself up for waiting months before accepting her back, because the 3P is in the equation. Is that what you mean? We got to drop that shit right now as we're sitting here. You're dropping that shit. I waited 9 months since the breakup. Joe, then that is a part of the unfolding, even though maybe you weren't even thinking about taking her back during that 9 months. I don't care. No, you cannot beat yourself up for things like this. This is why I say all the time, manifestation-wise, you really can't do anything to mess it up. Somehow, some way, things will be twisted and turned to bring about the desire. I know that there's another message out there that you can mess up your manifestation, and I'm sorry, anyone giving out that message is thinking limited, is thinking very extremely small. They're not thinking infinite. And they're certainly not remembering that there are infinite versions of states and self realities. Infinite versions. Infinite. So feeling guilty, beating ourselves up for a mistake we think we made by waiting is codswallop horse shit. So get over it today, Joe. Get over it today. Okay? As far as the waiting 9 months, you're blaming yourself that that's the reason why a third party exists. No, a third party exists because the old version of you probably wasn't aware that you were more than enough for love, or a fear of being cheated on, which will still break down to not good enough. Okay, that's why that exists. Not because you waited 9 months. Do you see how that's such a logical, literal way to view reality? I'm getting over to good. I can't wait to come and tell you we're back together. I have no doubt that you will come back and tell me that. Good. Hawkeyes, thank you very much. Can you talk a bit about dreams? I had a random dream that my SP was dead. Oh, and all these women came out of the woodwork saying he was cheating. Bullshit dream, but I was like, what the hell? Okay, now, clearly your SP is not dead. So you're clearly not in that reality, just saying, okay? First of all, I have a perspective about dreams that kind of aligns with Neville's perspective on dreams. I don't think that dreams are just the things that the 3D world has told us about the dreams. I don't believe that anymore. I do not think that dreams are just something, the subconscious is conjuring up for your entertainment purposes while the body is sleeping. I don't buy that. I think that is garbage. It's a garbage excuse. Okay? It's a garbage excuse. What I think dreams are, and again, this kind of ties in with what Neville talks about. Because when we're dreaming, our bodies are not attached necessarily to the physical anymore. We're free, conscious awareness wise, free. I mean, we're free right now, but I know it feels like we're stuck to this body, to this avatar. I believe in dreams that we are traveling. Traveling by what we're choosing for ourselves while we're in the dream. In what we call dreams, because I don't even think we should call them dreams anymore. Truthfully, I think it's traveling. So, is it a possibility that there is a reality where your person unfortunately does not exist? Of course. There has to be. There has to be. Because of infinite versions of self, infinite realities. There must be. If we can think the thought, it must exist somewhere. But that doesn't mean you're heading on over to it. That doesn't mean you're in it. But again, dreams, we're free to go anywhere. Now, why you would have that dream? That sounds to me more of because of the other women kind of coming into the equation. That just sounds like an old belief. So you might have been in an old state while dreaming. And to give you like some truth, think about, have you ever experienced going to bed in one state of consciousness and waking up in a completely different state? So it is possible for that to happen. I just want to say. So I'm not saying you went to bed in a state where you were assuming your specific person was ever a cheater, things like that. I'm just saying it is possible that you shifted into one last night while sleeping. But I do not believe that that is where you are right now, clearly. Okay, does that make sense? Neville talks about like dreams being something similar, and I can't think of any direct quotes, but we were just reading about it in the Advanced Manifestors. As soon as I went all in, like Kim said to, SP started blowing up my phone saying he was thinking about me. Mic drop. Look at Poop is celebrating for you, barking her balls off. She's barking her balls off for you, Priya. That's her way of dancing for you. That makes me so happy to hear. It is like magic, isn't it? Isn't it? See, I told you so. Thank you for giving me my I told you so moment. Thank you for that. But it's true. Go all in. Trust. Trust. Look at Priya. She's confirming and validating you right now. She's upstairs barking at the people next door. Oh, it's so true. Go all in. Go all in. Let yourself go and trust that this is working for you. Trust you are who you say you are. And I'm telling you, reality will change if you're not enjoying your reality. Pope! No. Sorry. You be nice. She just gave me a look like, she just gave me a F you friggin' face. Dear heavy, like she's a badass. My dog's badass. Okay, so Priya, congratulations, my friend. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Well done, beautiful. Well done. It's only going to keep getting better. Close the door on the 3D for real. Yes. And no matter what's happening, it's always working out and unfolding behind the scenes. Yeah, it is. And of course he was thinking about you. I'm so happy. I'm telling you guys, you have nothing to lose by going all in. And if you're new to my channel, going all in means you shut out your 3D reality and what you think you're believing, what you're thinking and believing that you're experiencing. It might make you feel a little cuckoo, but if you do it, and listen, by shutting out the 3D, I don't mean looking out at it and ignoring from the place where you feel like you're gaslighting yourself. I mean, we shut it out from the place of, I won't allow it to tell me who I really am anymore. I won't allow evidence that I think I'm experiencing in my 3D reality to dictate what state of consciousness I'm in. If you start doing that, and coupled with the state of consciousness that you're choosing is the state of consciousness that means you have your desire, I'm telling you, you will start experiencing things in quick fashion. It might not be the entire full physical manifestation sitting next to you on the couch, like my dog is, but it will be more, let's say, clear evidence that things are changing, that reality is collapsing and new reality is coming in. And Priya, I believe, is an excellent example. One moment. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Hopefully she won't be barking anymore. Hopefully. Priya is an excellent example because Priya has visited live streams of mine before, and there's the evidence of the change in her. That's what I'm trying to say. There's evidence. There's documented evidence. Not that Priya was, necessarily someone coming here and spiraling. I don't have any memory of that at all. But it's evidence of her evolution, I believe. Well done, Priya. And I'm pretty sure I told you, Priya, I have no doubt you're going to do this. I have no doubt it's going to work for you. Thank you, Ashley. Like this live. Yeah, it would be nice. So we can find other people who need this. Shut out the 3D's power over you. You are the power, not it. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. That is exactly what we're talking about. Don't let what current circumstance you think you're living in your 3D right now in this moment, no matter what you're manifesting. Okay? You're manifesting money and your bank account is nowhere near where you want it to be. Don't let that piece of evidence of your old self, don't let that make you feel like nothing's ever going to change, or that you're not ever going to be someone with a larger size bank account. And that goes for, again, any subject. Don't let the fact that you think you're experiencing no contact with your specific person. Hello to Priya also being evidence of, you know, I'm pretty sure at one point in her experience, she believed she wasn't speaking to her specific person. She might have felt like there was no contact. But here we go. He was thinking about her all the time. I hear that all the time. And the success stories that I get sent from people I've worked with, I just got one the other day. Their person comes in saying something that validates this shit was working the entire time. Our physical 3D eyes might not have seen it working, but it was working the whole time, the entire time. What'd you say? He left me on red for 2 weeks before that. Then he says he's thinking of me. That's what I'm talking about. And granted, anybody living a similar experience where you feel like you're in no contact, I am so confident that if you're choosing to be the version of yourself that has what you want, your person has no option but to be thinking about you. No option. We're all connected in consciousness. Every single guru and mystic that came long before YouTube, all of them say in their own way of speaking, deny what your 3D senses are telling you. Deny it. It's no longer, in that moment, we'll say, evidence of the new self, right? Wait, did that make sense? I don't think that made sense. Let me rewind. What you're experiencing in reality, if it's not what you want, it is the reflection or the evidence, we'll say, of the old self. But even if it's the reflection of the old self, we'll say with Priya, even when Priya was left on red. Now, any logical person would look at that and say, ooh, that's not good. You know, oh, looks like we're in no contact. Looks like we're not talking because he left me on red. He must not have wanted to talk to me, you know, the way our minds go. Even that moment was a part of Priya getting more movement, getting her person coming in. I know logically that does not make sense, but no matter how shitty a circumstance is, it is working to your benefit. Logically, that doesn't have to make sense to us. A lot of what we experience doesn't make sense to us, but it always leads to the outcome. And it doesn't make sense because we have such a limited view of physical reality. We only can see with our eyeballs so far. We only can hear so far. But Source, your higher self, sees it all at the same time. Sees everywhere, everything, all at the same time. That's why for anybody worrying, because you don't see a logical possible way how a manifestation is ever going to get to you. So if you are, like I was referring to earlier, somebody who's got $10 or negative $10 in their bank account, and you're manifesting being a millionaire, and you can't think of any logical way other than winning the lottery that you're going to get the money, I am telling you, you are dead ass wrong, first of all. Second of all, you don't have to be the person that figures out the way. That's not our job. It doesn't matter how difficult a 3D appears. It does not matter. Something or some things will be moved around like a chessboard to lead you to the place of having that bank account with the money you want in it. It's always working. Always. You just got to remember that. And I know it's not easy to remember it when you're facing circumstances that are uncomfortable, but it's always working. Helen, beautiful bestie. Thank you very much. Hi, bestie. I know my old story is just playing out, staying in the I am, and I know it's all unfolding. It's like I am immune to the 3D. And when you are in the state, I'll say the wish fulfilled, when you know who you are, And I'm very happy to see that you mentioned the I am, and you know that that's who your true self is, then identity. You do feel like you're immune. You do see that you aren't interpreting reality the way you once did. So well done, beautiful. Well done. Here's another person that I have no doubt is going to have exactly what she wants. I have no doubt. No doubt. When you're not being a person who's just watching content and nothing else, you're going to get what you want. If you're watching content and applying, you're going to get what you want. You are. And I can say that comfortably. Marvin, 00, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. Breakfast with SP was good, even with 3P, and the guys were there too. When we hugged goodbye, I could truly feel love from him in my chest. Sounds crazy? No, it doesn't sound crazy. Thank myself. I was going to say thank God. So thank myself. Thank the source, the I am, that we have documentation of a live stream where you came in asking a question about having to go to that event. And you know, we've got it. We've got the proof that in the live stream, I told you everything was going to be fine. You were going to have a good time. Told you where to keep your focus. And look, you did it. You applied and it was a good time. And from what I'm reading, I if you could feel the love from that hug, that sounds like damn well good movement to me. That sounds like someone who is applying. Well done. I'm very happy for you. I'm not surprised. I told you so. I love the I told you so moments. Well done. Look at that. Just like Priya, this is another example of go all in. Keep your awareness on who you want to be, the version of self you want to be, the state of your wish fulfilled. And you will experience evidence that validates the wish fulfilled, just like you experienced, Marvin 00. I am so happy for you. Again, no, it does not sound crazy. It sounds exactly how it should be, right? It played out exactly like it was supposed to. Of course, it was a good time. You keep doing this. You keep putting your awareness on who you want to be, and you're going to see things are going to keep changing. This is a day of examples. It sure as shit is. Your super chat is coming up. Okay. I am just excited. Don't be a leaf blown around in the wind. You are who you say you are, no matter what. No matter the thoughts or feelings or circumstances. Yes, LJ, walk through the purple door. You don't know what LJ is talking about. I have more than one video where we do a mini, easy little meditation, and not like the typical definition of a meditation, where I get you to walk through your wish fulfilled door, walking into the reality where you have your desire. And it's always a purple door because purple's my favorite color. Just saying. But it's true. Like Priya said, if you are easily kicked around in reality because you're relying on what your senses are interpreting, it's probably why you're experiencing, at best, hot and cold behavior. At best. It's why. When you want more consistent change in reality, when you want more consistent experiences that line up with who you want to be, then keep the focus on who you want to be and don't let the the senses sway you. And it won't take long for you to start seeing the evidence. It won't take long at all. And for anybody hearing me say that, and you are currently doing your best to be in your wish fulfilled, and you don't think you're seeing evidence, this doesn't have to mean that the full manifestation is right in front of your face. I'm saying evidence is number one, how you feel about what you're manifesting and how you perceive your reality. All of that is evidence too. But I'm saying you will experience physical things in the 3D that validate your new state when you are consistently that new self. Because there is no exceptions to this. This does work. I mean, at this point, isn't like science even really kind of coming into our direction and validating all the shit we say? Isn't science even heading that way? I believe it is. I believe that, quantum mechanics, quantum theory is already there. It's already there. You can trust this. This isn't some magical potion that we're trying to sell to get you to waste your money and then you don't get what you want. It is not that shit. It is not snake oil. It's real. And you don't have to spend a dime to experience it. You don't need really anybody's help to do it. You just need to change where you put your focus. I cannot express to you. First of all, I have said before, I have kept all of my scripting journals. I do not throw them away. I mean, I hide them because I do live with my specific person, and I certainly don't want him to read all my scripting journals because there's a lot about him in those scripting journals, but I'm whispering because he's right above our head. He's home from work today. Okay, so I have them all. And I am telling you, more than once I have gone back and flipped through some of them. I am now the person that I scripted in those journals. And I don't daily script. I don't do that anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with daily scripting. In my early days, I was a daily scripter. I love it. I still love scripting. If you don't know what scripting is, it's just mind dump, writing down whatever's on your mind, preferably in past or present tense. That's my preferred way, not necessarily future tense. I like to write like I'm already experiencing it. But that doesn't mean you can't write in future tense. I'm just saying that's my way of doing it. Think for a moment. Does that feeling kicked around feel good ever? No. Then pause, breathe, become aware of your senses, get back to your boss self. Yes, mic drop, Lisa. Yes. It is real. I was a miserable version of Eric before this. Now I am happy. And I can attest to this. That is exactly the experience I had. And there's plenty of other people that are actually in this chat right now that can, let me say, reflect and admit that they are now a different version of themselves. That they are different from the person they were when they first found conscious manifestation to the person they are in this moment. I know that so many of them can agree that they are new versions of themselves. See, look at that. Yep. I'm having that experience now. Me. Who I am now wouldn't even recognize who I used to be. Same. We're reflecting each other, my friend. When people start reflecting the new you, it's so wonderful. Damn right it is, Patricia. Me, I am such a different version of LJ. See? I am completely different person. I swear, like day and night. I believe you, my friend. I believe you because it's the same for me too. Look at all of us reflecting each other right now. Same. I was a miserable bitch and I am completely different and happy now. So I love this. I think we become the version of us that has the manifestation. I 1,000,000% agree with you. 1,000,000. And Jackie, me, see? Come on. We can't all be lying. I love to have an alter ego like Tyler, the creator, and enter that leader mode. Listen, if you go back through some of my content, and I believe it was last year, but don't quote me on that. There is a video that I made all about use the alter ego technique. It will work. And my video was inspired by the book that I think is just actually called Alter Ego, but don't quote me on that. I have the correct name of the book title in the book and the author. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But do you realize, I mean, not you in particular, because I know you already named somebody, but I'm saying, do you guys realize how many successful professional athletes and celebrities use that technique, use the alter ego technique? So for any of you out there that are more heavily, more logical, and maybe you're not fully 100% trusting my perspective that you can just become a different version of yourself just by your conscious thought, eventually you will come to understand that I am telling the truth, and you really can, but that's fine for now. Who is the superpower version of you? Who is that superhuman? Create an alter ego in your mind. That's what a lot of professional athletes do. This whole book, because the guy who wrote the book is a coach to professional athletes, that was the thing he used to get them. And he actually, he didn't come up with that on his own. He was told by another professional athlete, I believe it was a professional athlete. In the beginning of the book, they explain it to you, or he explains it to you, that he found that it was very common to hear these professional athletes. That's what they do before they step out on their field. They step into this alter ego version of them. I think they called it like their superhuman, superhero mode. And all right, my memory is it was a football player, and that he started doing this when he was in high school. All right, so in case I'm wrong, this is not a direct quote. My memory is the guy who wrote the book got the example from a football player, or maybe played a different sport. I'm not sporty, so I don't remember for sure, but I think it was football. And in his high school years, that's what he did. When his foot stepped onto the field, he told himself he was his superhero version. And he felt like he was becoming a completely different version of himself. And then it shuts back off when he comes off the field. So the guy who wrote the book started using that, with his clients. And they're professional athletes. They had success. But I know celebrities do it. Think about actors and actresses. Their career is to step into versions of themselves. So if any of you out there are some actors or actresses, just the only thing that you need to change really is to stop telling yourself that it's not real when you step into your new character. Kobe did it. All right, see? Beyonce does it with Sasha. Yes, you are so right with Sasha Fierce. Yes, it was football. Okay, thank you, Coconut. My alter ego is Elizabeth Taylor and Dixie Carter from Designing Women. I'm old. You're not old. I knew both people you just listed. Hello, Amy Beach. You're in the United Kingdom. I'm coming to visit you someday. I'm just telling you, it's always been on my dream list to go there. And Ireland. Thank you, Lisa. Double tap your phone screen to like the live. Kim deserves your thumb. I do. There's 199 people here. Can you hook a bitch up with a like so the video can get recommended to other people? Thank you to whoever just did it. Someone immediately did it. Thank you very much. Well, hello, Marina. Hello from New York State. Hello. Thank you, Michelle B. Thank you to all of you. Look at that. I went up freaking 10 people, 102. Thank you so much to all of you doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't know just tapping the screen did that. So thank you. Hello, deliciousness, Kisa. I love you, Amy Beach. I see your comments. You leave me some comments on my videos. I've seen them. I might not write back to every single comment just because I get a lot of them, so I don't get a whole bunch of time, but I do see them and I do appreciate them. I pay attention. I know the usernames who are my regulars, and I am loving you for that. I am fabulous, Rachel Beauty. How are you? You're in Russia? Russia is with you. Love you so much. I love you so much. I'm not going to pretend that I know how to properly pronounce your name, but thank you for that. How exciting. Russia. It blows my mind. People all over the place. You're in Zimbabwe. Oh my God, that is like mind blown. Thank you so much, Morgan Jane. Thank you. All right. I'm sure because Miss Dana is next. She's like, bitch, will you stop talking and read my super chat? So here we go. Sorry, Miss Dana. Kim, can you talk about what's going on with SP when we are dating and having fun separate from them? Just curious because I'm enjoying time with my SP too, but no, he's not my end. Love to have your insight. Okay. Based off of experience, what I hear from other coaching clients, and by experience, I mean my own experience, based on, I was about to say, make myself sound so professional, based on all the data that I've collected, your specific person is thinking of you exactly when you think of them. It's an immediate, it's an instant. Now, in my older content, I know I claimed that. I said that. In my older content, before I even had hardcore evidence, my belief was, I think they're thinking of you immediately. They are. They are. In the context that you're thinking of them. Now, don't everybody panic when you hear me say that. I just mean, if you're thinking to yourself, he or she doesn't love me. They hate me. They never want to be with me again. It is very likely that they are having the same type of thought, but maybe not so it's harsh. But the context of, I'm not sure I want to go back to that person. I'm not sure I ever really loved them. Now, again, I'm not saying that to panic anybody. I'm just saying it to be honest, okay? So this is why it's important that when you're thinking of your specific person, to think of them as the version you prefer, because it is instant that they will think. So my example to that would be, you're thinking of your specific person and you're thinking of them as, they're head over heels in love with me. They always have been. They can't imagine life without me. What it translates to them is, yeah, I'm in love. I'm in love with her. Don't go logical. I'm not saying it to you, Dina. I'm saying to anybody else hearing this, don't go logical. Don't then be the typical person and say, well, then how come they haven't texted me? How come they haven't reached out? Oh my God, because you don't control the unfolding. You don't decide what experiences and circumstances are going to happen. Don't worry. The evidence, at least from my perspective, if there's another coach who says something different, maybe that's what they're experiencing in their reality. But I am telling you from mine, it is instant and in the context. Now, when you are allowing yourself to go out and have some fun, like you're experiencing an SP2, the only experience that, outside of what I just said, okay? My personal experience of doing something similar, okay? What I was told by a specific person was that there was fear that I would move on to someone else. And there was no evidence. Like, I had not shared that information that I was also experiencing fun with BBLs. So I was told, a fearful thought came, and the fear was I was going to move on with someone else. That's what I personally experienced, okay? I do want to say, I also have had the experience of my specific person literally saying the exact sentence that I was just thinking. I've had that experience. And all of those experiences happened when we were living together. But I don't think it's only because we're living together. I just think it's because we were right next to each other for him to tell me that, or to tell the thought, and I'm the one who knew I was just thinking it. So I just want to say that. But I don't think distance plays a part in this, right? Because remember, time and space moves through us. So it doesn't matter if your person isn't right next to you or even close. They could be on the other side of the world. Up here is instant. What was I just going to tell you, though? There was a point of why I just brought that up. Damn it. Why did I just want to make that clear? Oh, because I don't have, other than, if you have watched my older videos, I mentioned that during one of my breakups, when I manifested specific person back, why am I whispering? I don't know. When I manifested my specific person back, when he came back, again, this is one of the famous solo vacations. He did come back in saying, like, word for word, things that I had said to him in inner conversations. So outside of that personal experience of my own and having the instant reflection of him thinking the instant and repeating the instant exact words, everything else I've ever heard is it's the context. So I'm not saying you have to rule out the idea that they're thinking the word for word thought. I'm not saying we have to rule that out. I'm just saying, based on the evidences that I've had evidence of both, but there's more evidence of it being the context of what you're thinking. I just wanted to say that. That's what my intuition tells me, that he feels an urgency to come forward at this point. I know whatever happens, he is my end. Damn right. And I do want you to know very confidently, it doesn't matter that you're out and enjoying yourself right now. That will not stop a manifestation. And I'm talking from personal experience. Why, there was something else I was going to say to you, though. Oh, dear. Oh, I was going to say that, just with energy alone, they sense something is different about your energy. Now, they might not know on their end 100% sure that your energy has shifted, your energy has changed. I'm saying they will have, kind of like what you just said, that intuition. They'll just have a weird intuition moment, a weird gut feeling that, I'm going to use the example of, let's say that in the past, or when you were intermingling with SP1 before, maybe you were someone who was in the desperate, needy mindset like my old self was, that they could sense that energy shift, which is why we hear so much evidence of when someone's manifesting a specific person, but they're still in a desperate, needy state. It's why they experience their specific person seemingly kind of backing away, pulling away. And, that's an energy. I mean, outside the fact that it's a reflection of our consciousness, but I'm just saying. So your intuition saying that he can sense something different within you and feel that sense of urgency, I agree with you. The second I get pissed at my SP and act annoyed or indifferent with him, he comes harder. I'm sorry, my mind just went in a very dirty place and I'm bringing it back. And then you reflected me. You reflected my dirty mind. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. Talk about instant manifestation, instant validation. Salty, could you tell in that moment when I froze that my mind was going dirty? Your mind went there too. We're all dirty minds. Look at all of you with the filthy minds. God, that's funny. All right. Angela and Giuseppe, thank you very much. Kim, remember my last chat? I manifested my dream SP. I was scared he'd be a player. Choose others. We went on second date, then he kind of went cold. Took time to focus on self, and now he's coming back in. Oh my God, Angela, congratulations. Can I say my favorite line? I told you so. I am so happy. Well done. Well done, Angela. Well done. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of all my HBICs. who apply, who apply. This is why. This is why you experienced the turnaround. Now, remember, to all of you out there, manifesting specific people, when you're finally at the place of interacting with them, seeing them, going on dates, talking to them, whatever, remember that is always going to be the key. So another question I get often around manifesting an SB is, how do I maintain it? Well, like once they come back in, how do I keep it? By maintaining who you are, by keeping your awareness on being the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Or whatever words feel good to you. You're in a mutually loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Your person feels the same way you do. It's a mutual love. That's how you maintain. They show up consistently when you do it. There you go, Eric. That's right. Listen, decide, apply, live happily ever after. Yes. That was said so simplified and perfect. As a person with BPD, I struggle a lot with detachment and let go of desperation. Any advice? Yes. Do your best to stop necessarily telling the story that having BPD is limiting you. Now, I get it. BPD is a diagnosis, right? You received this diagnosis. I feel that is similar to receiving a diagnosis of ADHD or any other thing out there, medical-wise, any other thing out there. We are all conditioned to then, because we received a diagnosis, to really identify as having that thing. So if BPD has made you feel limited in any way, it's a story we're telling. Now, I'm not trying to say that you're crazy and you don't have what you say you have. I believe you. But telling the story to yourself that, well, now because of this, I struggle with detachment. I struggle with that. It's hard for me to let go of desperation because of this. In your mind, I believe you. I'm saying if we start telling a different story despite how you feel. So even if your body is still giving you the evidence that you're in a moment of feeling the anxiety or fear, that it's real, that that's who you are. If you start telling a different story, that that's not who you are anymore. And it is easy for you to detach. It is easy for you to stop feeling desperate and to start knowing who the hell you are. That you will begin to experience the evidence of that. We are limited by nothing. Dr. Joe Dispenza is usually the person that I say, listen, if you don't believe that we can heal our bodies and minds, search him and read some of his stuff. Because yes, we can. God. A Course in Miracles does an excellent job of describing that sickness is not something that we just have. Now, we're conditioned to believe that. We all believe that, right? Every single one of us believes that that's just what happens. I can try preventative measures, but sicknesses, they just come. I have no control over that. Yes, we do, because your source first. Your source first, then identity. And from there, which version of self? You have a choice. Now, I know that sounds like, bitch, I don't have a choice if I got BBD or not. All I'm saying is having the, we'll say, symptoms. You can change them by making a different decision with what you're identifying with. And listen, might you have to do it with repetition? Deciding every day something new, meaning this new version of yourself? Yeah, you might have to, but you'll experience a change. It'll happen. Look at all this. Yes. Louise Hay is excellent with healing yourself from anything. Boom. LOA is what got rid of my acne that was battling for 8 years. Helped me with anxiety. Just so you're aware. I got rid of heart palpitations that I dealt with for years. Hello. We have had multiple examples of various cancers saying bye-bye. Miraculously, suddenly that person doesn't have it anymore, unexplainably. We have control more than we're aware. I had a knot under my armpit, made an appointment to get a biopsy, and it was no longer there. I didn't accept that I had that knot. Amazing. Yes, repetition is our friend. I say that all the time. And I was limiting what I ate, what I wore on my face, cream, pills, etc. Only staying consistent helped it go away completely. And she means staying consistent with who she wanted to be. I'm telling you, my friend, if you follow what Salty just said, you keep yourself returning with repetition to who you want to be, you will not be limited. You will be able to easily detach and not be in a desperate state. And I just want to say, for the most part, I think everybody has to experience the repetition of detachment. Maybe not in every single subject area of your life. And I bet you have detached easily from other things in your life. It just might be this one subject area that you feel like you can't. And the most common I see is that love category. When our heart is involved with someone else, it feels, I know how I used to feel. I used to feel like it was impossible for me to detach, but I am telling you, it can be done. My work with quantum healing and biology brought me to law of assumption and creating a reality. Mic drop. I am not surprised, and I'm very happy you are here. And I mentioned maybe about a month ago that I found a YouTube channel of someone who was a, oh God, what was the name of it? He was neurosurgeon. He was a neurosurgeon. That because of some of his wild experiences with consciousness, he's no longer a neurosurgeon. Now, I'm not saying for people to go quit their jobs. I don't mean it like that, but he could not tie the two together. And I believe that probably there was some work-life balance stuff going on, but he's no longer a neurosurgeon. He stepped right back, and he admits that there's so many unexplainable things that even with the study of the mind that they don't have answers for. And one of the things he said that I 100% agree with is, well, think about it. How are you going to test consciousness? It's consciousness testing consciousness. Vadim Zeland mentioned this, that this is why they have no definitive answers about the mind, because let's say there's 5 scientists all doing the same type of test, and all 5 have different outcomes they're expecting. Well, all 5 are going to experience the evidence that they're assuming, because it's consciousness. It's right. Okay. So I geek out over science and everything overlaps. Appreciate your channel so much, Kimberly. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Kim, miss your carve videos. You know what? Sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, I miss recording in my car. I miss that. And I have the intention that there will be some future car videos. I miss it. That feels like my home. I love when my 3D gives me little Easter eggs in my reality. Thing I was saying, thinking, visualizing. Salty, me too. And I think that too, and this is just my own limited belief, I think that others see that as just something little. It's not that big of a deal. It's still a big deal to me. The whole when I think of someone that I haven't talked to in a long time, and then they show up either later that day or the next day in my reality, I still get excited over that. Like it's the first time I ever found conscious manifestation. Still excites me. Eric going global. Thank you very much. I have to give my beautiful bestie love in all these live streams. Finding your channel quite literally saved my life. I love you to the moon and back. I can finally say I am happy and mean it. Thank you for everything. Eric, I just love you. First of all, thank you for such a freaking generous gift. Thank you very much. I'm happy you found my channel. I'm happy you're here. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And well done. And look at the amazing life you created for yourself. Look at that. Amazing. When anything manifests, I still get so excited. Same. Kim, how do our dreams relate to our conscious daily manifestations? I'm not necessarily of the belief that it really has any connection. And you can think differently, and it will be true for you what you believe. I just want to say that. So I'm saying if you disagree with me. I don't think that there's a connection per se on what we're consciously manifesting based on, the dreams we might have. We might experience dreams that are similar, like say, your specific person or the people that you see daily in your life. You might experience seeing them in your dreams. But I think what the connection, if any, is, and I don't know if it's a connection, I shouldn't word it like that. I feel that dreams are traveling to other realities. I don't think that, this was what I was going to say. The connection, I think, if any, is maybe you travel to realities that are similar to this reality. But I also don't think it's impossible to visit this reality in your dreams. And here's why. This is my reason why for believing that. In other words, I think that because when we're sleeping, we are no longer attached physically to this meat sack. We're able to freely go, which is, I think, what happens when we croak, right? That's why I don't see death. I shouldn't word it like that. I was going to say, I don't see death as a terrible thing, but that's not true. I miss the people. I miss the physical bodies of the people. But I think what happens is we are completely free from the physical body. I think we experience the same thing when we're sleeping, so that we're traveling to other realities. And again, it can be realities that are close by. It can be realities that are nowhere near. But the neurosurgeon that I was just talking about a few moments ago, it was his first video that I found and watched was what for me validated what I already thought about our dreams, that he, was planning on going on a hike with his best friend the next day. And that night he had a dream about him and his best friend. I don't remember what they were doing in the dream. But the next morning when he met up with his friend to go take the hike, he told his friend, hey, I had a weird ass dream about you last night. And he started telling him the dream, and his friend looked at him like it was crazy because his friend had the same exact dream. They were doing the same exact things in his friend's dream. They connected in consciousness. Like his friend remembered the same conversations, everything. So that's why, number one, why I think you can visit even this reality, I believe. Personal perspective, I believe. So yeah, I think that when we are not attached to the physical body, I believe that's why we experience it while we're dreaming, that what you think about or what you consciously decide in a dream instantly happens, versus whatever delay we believe we're experiencing, because time and space moves through us in the physical, that when we're dreaming and not attached to the physical, it's instant. And I don't know if you've ever had the experience of a lucid dream where you are aware that you are actually sleeping in that moment, or your physical body is actually sleeping. You wake up, in a sense, in the dream. I have had that experience multiple times. And I know other people too, obviously. There's a name for it. Other people experience it. I can tell you that in my lucid dreams, like I would think about being somewhere else and I would instantly be at that somewhere else. It would immediately happen. So again, that's, to me, it's just more evidence that that's what dreams are. It's actual traveling. So in other words, if you have a bad dream, if you have a nightmare, that doesn't mean you're going to manifest and experience it either, by the way. But if you think your dreams are, you know, your brain processing, which is what I used to believe they were, or are in some way giving you premonitions of, you know, those premonitions, not that they're wrong, but they happen because of manifestation, conscious manifestation. But, you know, if you have a different meaning, you're allowed to keep your meaning, because you'll experience the evidence of that in your reality, because that's, you know, an is what it is thing. It's based on us, the individuals, right? You are welcome, Thomas. Thank you. All right, let's see. Julie Smith, thank you very much. That was very nice of you. Manifesting Maven, thank you very much. I love you. I love you too. Thank you for helping me find my most authentic self. I had a BBL boy come in. He's obsessed. I'm not interested, but shit is wild. I am so happy for you. And I know, even though this is not the person you want, I'm not surprised, and I'm just, have fun. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. And, you know, girl, you deserve the most amazing version of whoever you choose. You deserve it. And I know that you're aware of that, so that makes me very happy. Enjoy this. Have fun. Well done. You know I'm dying for more details, though. You know I'm that nosy. I'm enjoying his attention like crazy. I'm enjoying that it's happening. You deserve it. Julie Smith, thank you very much. Love you, Kim. Love you too, Julie. I've been manifesting a loving relationship, and I must have affirmed 1,000,000 times. And there is no one on the horizon yet. Can you help? Yes, I can. Stop saying there's no one on the horizon. Say it right now. This is the last day I ever say that sentence. I have options everywhere. That's what you start telling yourself. There are options everywhere. It's like shopping for men. Or, I mean, are you into men? Whatever you're into. It's like shopping. There's so many to choose from. I can't believe how many options I have, how many people are coming in, you know, interested in me. Because, Julie, I'm going to tell you, there is someone I am thinking of that I have been working with. And she thought just like you. She thought just like you. You know, Kim, I've been working on myself. And by working on myself, she meant to be the version of herself that believes she's worthy and deserving of a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, and that she was more than enough to experience, you know, loving treatment, respectful treatment from someone, right? Because I told her to put your awareness on being the you that's already experiencing that. Her logical question was, I'm just supposed to pretend I'm experiencing something I'm not experiencing? I said, you don't have to lie to yourself. You can accept what your reality looks like, right? We can be aware that maybe in this moment you don't see anybody beating down your door to have a date with you. But you can think about, in imagination, who or what that version of you, what she thinks, how she carries herself, what she thinks about when she gets up in the morning. And like I've said in other videos, And listen, I'm only saying this because this is something that I also did, okay? For me, and what I said to her was, if you were the version of you experiencing having multiple options of people pursuing you, treating you exactly like you have always wanted, because you are now this version of yourself. If that was happening right now in this moment, would there be anything different about your life on a day-to-day basis? Like how you would start your day, what your morning routine would look like, or your night routine. And I said, and don't be hung up on the logical response of, well, yeah, I'd be talking to somebody. I'd be having interactions with a person, and I'm not having that right now. That can't be your response. I mean, would there be anything different about you, how you carry yourself, what you think about yourself? What do you think would change about your life outside of the obvious of there being a person involved? And her response, which just happened to me almost exactly like my own response, was, yes, I know I would carry myself differently. I would. So using me as the example, one of the things that about me that, all right, so like say first thing in the morning. Well, after I've warmed up, because I'm a bitch in the morning. After I've warmed up and I, am ready for the day, like doing the things around the house, chores around the house, or, going to work, blah, blah, blah. I know that if I was living the life I wanted, how I took care of myself in the morning would be 100% different. And I was very aware that there's no point in me doing my hair, putting makeup on, wearing decent clothes. There's no point. There's no point. If I'm not living that life, and no one's interacting with me, I don't care how I look. That's how I used to think. So in other words, that was just me saying I wasn't worthy to treat myself a certain way that I know I would do differently if I had what I wanted. And that probably sounds cuckoo, but it's the truth. No, please, don't take this away as I'm telling you, you got to get up every morning and slap some makeup on and do your hair all zhuzhy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but if you know that right now in this moment that you are deliberately choosing not to do because you think, well, it's not like I'm going out in a day. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I don't have anybody, in my life. So no, there's no point in me doing this one thing. And if that one thing is something that you can do with yourself every single day, because you know that you feel better about yourself, so you are treating yourself differently. If you know that you've got something in your life like I had in mind, like she was doing the same thing, by the way, same thing with her. I said, start doing it. Start carrying yourself like you're a woman who believes that she's got options, that she's being pursued, that there are people in her life pursuing her. Carry yourself like a woman who is feeling good about herself. Now, if you're a dude, obviously interchange the words here, okay? What you're doing by taking that action, that change in action, is you're only validating to self, to your ego, to your subconscious mind, that you really are that new self, that you really are a new self, because that simple daily habit you already answered for yourself is the thing that would be different day to day. Because, using me as the example again, by me blowing all of that stuff off because I thought there was no point, because I wasn't living the life I wanted. There's no point in me doing that. There's no point. No one's going to see me. It's no point. But if I had the life I loved, if I had a life I loved, I would be doing A, B, and C. Taking that action in your 3D was helping me to stand in my decision, to stand in conviction that I believed that I am who I say I am. Now, this might sound crazy. Again, some of you might not come up with an answer. Maybe there really is nothing different in the physical that you would do. And so that's fine. outside of how you would think about your life, how would you think about yourself, right? Who you show up as every day matters. Because you're not going to outwit higher self. You're not going to outwit subconscious mind. Now, what do I mean by that? When we want to make a change in our subconscious mind, when we want to rewire or reprogram, if you buy into that, I believe we're source. That's the ultimate authority, just saying. But if you know that you're still secretly identifying as the version of you who doesn't have what you want, you're not fooling subconscious mind. We don't manifest what we want, we manifest who we are. So if doing this one change in your life, and for me it was getting up and at least doing something, one thing different in my appearance. Me deciding to take that action. And again, hers was the same. So her deciding to do the same exact thing, to start living her life as if she was experiencing exactly what she wanted to the best of her ability. Again, if you're manifesting money, I'm not telling you to go out and spend a bunch of fucking money. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying, but what else about you do you think would change? You know your mindset would change. You know how you view the world would change. So by changing identity, doing that one simple thing is overriding subconscious mind. It is validating to your higher self that you are now this new identity, and therefore reality will change. And just to let you know, Julie, she took my advice. She started doing what I just described to you every day. And in one respect too, if she felt like, just say for an example, if she was having a bad day, if she woke up, grumpy like I do in the morning, and the grump wasn't wearing off, she wasn't warming up, I told her, listen, that's not a day you got to force yourself to do stuff you don't want to do, but ask yourself, if you were in this grumpy of a mood any other day, if you were living the life you wanted and you were still in this grumpy ass mood, would there be anything different? Would you sitting around and sulking in your shitty mood, would that still be happening if you were living the life you want? Right? Probably not. So I'm not saying that we can't ever have a bad day. That's not what I'm trying to say. But be in the awareness of checking in with who you're being, who you really believe you are. Check in with yourself. So she took my advice, okay? And again, she was not perfect. She had days where she spiraled because things weren't changing. So she was not perfect by any means. But she did start applying what I said to her. And let me just say the options started coming in. Lots and lots of options. And they're still coming in. And she's already narrowed it down to like 2 people. But her narrowing it down doesn't mean the other ones stopped contacting and stopped pursuing. Options came in because she really stepped in to the new identity. She really started showing up to reality every day as the self she wanted to be. So reality had no choice but to start showing her evidence of her new self. It works flawlessly, I'm telling you. Yes, not crazy. You doing that. See, I'm telling you, shows you believe that life was already yours. This used to be me. I'm so grateful I started doing the things I did. People literally have been giving me compliments I never actually imagined I would get. I love hearing this. I love this because it's true. Being generous with small things, even with my time, brought in more abundance. Generosity and gratitude are magnets for abundance. I cannot agree with you more on this, Lisa. That is absolutely true. It's been my own experience. Gratitude is, in my opinion, the easy way to help someone shift their state. It's an easy way. you start thinking about things you are grateful for. It shifts you, whether you're trying to shift or not. It just does. And being abundant, showing up to reality as a more abundant version of yourself to anybody else out there, that doesn't mean that, oh my God, I need to go spend a large amount of money so a large amount of money starts showing up in my life. No. Abundance, just like Lisa said, abundance is more than just money. It can be anything in your life. You're showing up already identifying as this new self. I'm telling you, work. It's really just, it's embodiment when you think about it. It's just embodiment. You've been working on more gratitude of that. Love it. Kim, a guy recorded a love message for me and sent it to a friend's phone to play to me as he was in Spain at the time. Are you kidding me? I am loving this. I'm not surprised though, Jackie. I'm not surprised. I think we should accept we're going to have those days, but they don't have to mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I think that is a super, super important point to make. I agree. The sooner we accept that we might have an off day, we might not feel amazing every day, but that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. And it certainly doesn't mean you're not going to get your manifestation. It just means, oh yeah, here's a reminder, I'm human. I'm having a human experience. That's it. That's it. All right. I have literally like 4 minutes left. Karishma, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. I want to be in a relationship, but I haven't decided which SP I want. I want to be pursued by both before I decide. How do I go about this? By applying pretty much everything I just said. Showing up to your reality, identifying as a woman who's being pursued, as a woman who has options. Hold on one moment, please. Okay. So, yes. All right. So how to be pursued by both. You start identifying as that. You start telling that story in your mind. Your inner talk is about how you're being pursued by both. How you're loving all the attention. How you're loving all the attention. Affection. Respect. Love. That's how. They will. But let me say this. This is for anybody manifesting a specific person. Try to remember what you believe about your specific person also matters. So if you believe that they have like annoying habits, if you believe that they really don't like you, they're really not into you, they will have no choice but to reflect that in your reality. So remember, the whole point of manifesting love, manifesting a specific person, is to see that person as the version that truly loves you, that is interested in you, that wants the same things you do, right? So the more we get our awareness of all the things we don't necessarily like about that person, the less we see of it. So try to remember that. So if you've got like a fear that one out of the 2 guys that are coming in for you, if you think one of them, well, he's just not someone that's going to contact me, he's just not the type that's going to pursue, you got to stop saying that. You got to start telling yourself that he can help himself. He's in love. Okay? Because remember, we're selecting out of the infinite. We're not limited by what we see right in front of us. Deny the senses. Okay? And Lisa, thank you very much. Poop is proof animals can manifest. Yes, she is definite proof. This is a bitch who gets what she wants. And she does not stop until she gets what she wants. She knows. She makes a decision with conviction. Quite frankly, it's Poop's world, and we're just living in it. She's looking at me with all sorts of attitude right now. That's all I'm saying. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here with me this morning. I love you all. I shall see you all tomorrow. Be good. And remember who you're identifying